Well folks, it finally happened. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he of the questionable vaccine takes and the even more questionable dietary advice, decided to grace the hallowed halls of the US Senate with his presence. And by grace, I mean he subjected himself to a confirmation hearing that could only be described as a fever dream, but instead of terrifying it was mostly just hilarious. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. Oh boy, here we go. You can almost feel the collective sigh of the nation as we brace ourselves for yet another political spectacle. Well folks, it finally happened. The moment we've all been waiting for, or perhaps dreading, has arrived. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he of the questionable vaccine takes, has decided to step into the limelight once more, and the even more questionable dietary advice which has left many scratching their heads in confusion, decided to grace the hallowed halls of the US Senate with his presence. Yes, you heard that right. And by grace I mean he subjected himself to a confirmation hearing, a process that is as grueling as it is revealing. That could only be described as a fever dream, filled with moments that left everyone in the room bewildered. But instead of terrifying, it was mostly just hilarious, the kind of hilarity that makes you question reality. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. A ride that promises twists, turns, and a whole lot of unexpected moments. Now RFK Jr. wants everyone to know he's pro-vaccine. He insists that he supports vaccines and their role in public health. Emphasis on the air quotes. He often uses the term safe vaccines to qualify his stance. He's like that friend who swears they love dogs, always talking about how great they are, then spends the entire evening hiding behind the couch whenever your chihuahua so much as sneezes. It's a bit contradictory, to say the least. The evidence, however, tells a slightly different story. His speeches and writings are filled with skepticism and doubt about vaccine safety. This is a man who's built a career on questioning vaccine safety, often citing controversial studies and fringe theories. A man who once compared the CDC to, and I can't believe I have to type this, Nazi Germany. Such extreme comparisons have only fueled public mistrust. While he claims to be pro-vaccine, his actions and words have often led to confusion and fear, rather than clarity and trust. Section 3. The curious case of the health guru with a junk food habit. Imagine a health guru, someone who preaches the gospel of clean eating and balanced diets, caught red-handed with a stash of junk food. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, that's exactly what happened with RFK Jr. Let's move on to RFK Jr.'s adventures in the world of nutrition, shall we? He was often seen at health events passionately advocating for a healthier lifestyle. But behind the scenes, things were not as they seemed, because apparently, while simultaneously railing against Big Pharma, he found time to rake in a cool $5 million promoting, wait for it, processed food. Yes, the very same processed food he warned us about. That's right folks, this champion of healthy living was out there, shilling for the very things he claimed were poisoning America. It's a classic case of, do as I say, not as I do. The irony here is so thick you could cut it with a butter knife. It's a stark reminder that sometimes, those who preach the loudest may not always practice what they preach. So, next time you hear a health guru's advice, take it with a grain of salt, or perhaps a bag of chips. Section 4. Conspiracy theories and other greatest hits. And finally we arrive at the main course, the piece de resistance RFK Jr.'s penchant for conspiracy theories. This man sees shadowy cabals everywhere, lurking in the shadows, controlling the world with their vaccines, GMOs, fluoridated water. Honestly, it changes so often it's hard to keep up. It's like he's playing conspiracy theory bingo and just yells out whatever comes to mind. So, there you have it. The Senate confirmation hearing of RFK Jr., a masterclass in contradictions, controversies, and just plain old weirdness. Whether he was trying to be funny or not, one thing's for sure, he definitely provided us with some much-needed comic relief.